on your side, is it just Mick coming up?
Yeah, we got him coming
it's
up.
just Mick.
Yes, sir.
Cool. I feel like we've got half a voice chat here with you guys.
Yeah. That's the goal, man.
Here he is.
Hello, good morning.
Mick, welcome, bro.
There he is.
Hey, what's up with
GM.
GM. And yeah, those ducks came good, didn't they?
What did you say?
I said those ducks came good. They were great.
Oh, bro, thank you for the alpha. I know you gave it to me mistakenly, but I really appreciate you nonetheless. Mick goes, I think we were in a chat, in a group DM, and we were talking about getting the Vigil and Mick show, which was exclusively live broadcasted in Metaverse HQ's voice chat number 2. We're going to be dishing it out to the public, and I think we were in a group DM just talking about that, and out of nowhere, you're like, these are minting, by the way, they're flying. The indifferent ducks last night. And then you were like, ooh, wrong Discord, or wrong chat. And I was like, no, right chat, my friend.
Let's go.
We love to see
Yeah,
it.
no, that
and
was good.
thank you guys for coming on board. I'd definitely love to start this Twitter Spaces by saying that Metaverse HQ appreciates everything that all of you guys do for the community. I can go down the list and mention it all, but we don't have hours to spend here, and I'd love to hear more about your project. And obviously, it's been quite the buzz of the metaverse. We have a lot of innovators in our a part of our community, and we want to, obviously help broadcast, help bring your vision to life any way we can. And we really appreciate the fact that you guys hooked up our members with whitelists and bringing that value back. So I'd love for you guys to, maybe we can start with, a little bit about the project, what is it, and we can go around and maybe how you're contributing to the project would be a great start. We can go from there.
Sounds good. I can kick off. Then I'll pass it to you, Grape, if you want. So we have wanted to be creators for some time. Everyone that's on the team. So myself, Grape, Jacob, and Brawlers have all been part of MVHQ and long-term NFT degens. And during our time as NFT traders, we've kind of want to be part of this space and produce something that can kind of add to the awesomeness that is NFTs. And talking through that, on-chain was a part of the gaming domain, which we really vibed with heavily. So we wanted to go down that on-chain path. And we thought, well, what can we do that's different? How can we bring some innovation to the space and take the next step? And we thought we need to do something bigger, something more multiplayer, something PvP. And we iterated on that quite a lot. And over time, sort of Hunger Brainz came to fruition. So Hunger Brainz now is this PvP war game where you're going to have 2 teams, which will start off with an even mint supply. You're going to be able to stake those to earn tokens and go on hunts, and you're going to be able to fight with each other, and you're also going to be able to essentially fight with yourself. You can have NFTs from both sides if you want, and that's going to create this dynamic, always changing, ever evolving battlefield where people are dying, people are stealing other people's NFTs. It's just going to be a little bit of controlled chaos. So we're really looking forward to it. And that was sort of the vision of all of us. Over time, that came together into what's hopefully going to be a really, really fun game.
Yeah, Mick said that really well. Yeah, that's pretty much just a combination of everything we wanted out of other stuff we liked. And we were lucky enough to have everyone in Metaverse pretty much be a good support system and make this idea come to reality.
Love it. Thanks for the rundown. Before I start digging in, do we want to relay the info of, what does the pre-sale look like, public sale, supply, cost, the logistics, as if we were watching this trend on Moby?
Sure. So pre-sale supply, or the ETH mint supply, is going to be 10,000 in total. But out of that 10,000, it's going to be two smaller pools of 5,000 per team. So you can consider the start of the game being 5,000 Horde, 5,000 Survivor. To mint those NFTs is going to be 0.069 each. Once everyone,
The magic number.
one of our favorite. And then once that's minted out and the game has essentially kicked off, so everyone's in the battlefield, staked, earning tokens, the remaining supply you can mint with the in-game token called supplies, or $sup, and that's at 1,000 sup per. So each NFT earning at a rate, testing my memory, of 500 sup per day. And that will mean, with two NFTs or three NFTs on the go, you will be able to mint in about under half a day. And then the only other thing I'll say is, if we ever reach a collection size of 40,000 NFTs, that's the natural cap of Phase 1 collection, but it's not going to be an easy thing. So being a war game, there's natural deflationary mechanics. These NFTs, when they're battling, there's a risk that you are going to die as part of that. If you're unstaking, there's also a risk you're going to die. And this is because it's a war game. You're in a war. People die in a war. But the percentages of the actual mechanics of the game definitely promote playing. So we want people to feel challenged. We want people to feel rewarded over time as they level their characters up. To get a level 5 in this game, you're going to have to work for it. And getting one, you're going to be very, very attached to it. We're hoping that people end up naming their characters, creating some lore from it, and really, creating the story around the game we've built.
Yeah, and another thing too is as you level up your guys, you'll be rewarded with the chances of dying and converting and stealing. And then also, if the mechanics get too crazy from one side to the other, a bunch of later mechanics come that should really make things fun for this game.
All right, that's awesome. It feels like the premise is a little bit different than the other games that we've gotten to play, because just in contrast alone, you have Wolf Game that had 10% for the wolves, 90% for the sheep. You had all the games follow a similar trajectory, but here you guys are saying no, pick a side and battle to the motherfucking death and have that conviction, because otherwise, I don't know, your NFT could die and it can never come back again. Is that the premise?
That's the premise, and that's what you touched on. There's the real beauty of it, right? We didn't want a game where at the end of the mint out, you've got this rush to just grab the level 1 to 5 wolves, let's say. So those alpha NFTs, and then sit back passively and just reap the rewards without actually playing. We want to have those high-powered, really, really effective NFTs in the game, but you got to earn them. You actually have to go out and fight to get them. And even when you do, there is always a risk when you're staking, smaller risk with a level 5, but it is there that NFT gets stolen as part of the war. So we don't want anyone to feel totally safe.
Gotcha. And I think just the audience here, if you're not familiar with these NFT collections, these projects, there's these gamified mechanics of staking an NFT, earning the ERC20, which is the in-game crypto, potentially risk involved with, in this case, the death of your NFT, something so permanent, and also could be ridiculous. This is it's really a newer concept. I think crypto raiders hit it on the butt initially with the premise that your NFTs can die, can perish if they go to plunder. I think Wolf Game and the games in general made it a lot more popularized because they were on the Ethereum blockchain, whereas Crypto Raiders was on and still is on Polygon. And so this is sort of, in my opinion, of Hunger Brainz right now. It just seems like the progression of sort of like taking what all the games previous did and like sort of combining it and pushing it to that next level. Because even in Wolf Game, you could get your sheep stolen if you were to mint another sheep potentially by the wolves, but there were never any NFTs like being sent to die. And I think obviously with Nate Alex's chain faces, right? That's another great example. Like we sent our NFTs to the arena, and now they are dying. Can you give a little bit of insight as to why someone would want to go through all of that risk and risk their NFT to die? Like, if I go to stake, why am I staking? What am I getting out of it? What are the inherent what's the inherent upside here?
Yeah, the beauty of it is if you look at the white paper and start to get into the game theory, the more you play this game, the more you're rewarded. So the more you're staying up and really trying to maximize and build your army and taking those risks, the bigger upswing chance you have of ending up in a lot better spot after a week or so.
Yeah, and I think one of the really revolutionary things with Hunger Brainz compared to these other games is that it is a 50-50 war game and not just you're in it for yourself. You're trying to make as much profit, steal as many NFTs as possible. No, you're really bringing in the community and trying to, have your side win and strengthen your numbers. But also, there's a lot of game theory and potential opportunity for arbitrage. If one side's losing, you can try to take some of your army there, and there's a potential opportunity to make a lot of profit off of that.
And with the balance, so we've got two sorts of mechanics we're implementing in the game theory. One is on the deflationary side, so we start to escalate the war and the risks get higher as the collection increases. And during those times which we're calling aggression, we may find that we're kind of expecting you're going to have a lot of people considering having their NFT staked as that escalates. But on the flip side, if they unstake, then they do risk permanent death coming out of the war. And so they're going to have that sort of psychological barrier or element to the game. And then when they do unstake, if they choose to, they'll be sitting the whole time realizing, oh, I'm not earning SUP at the moment. I'm not progressing. My character's not leveling up. The people that are in the game are actually progressing, and I'm not. So that dynamic changes again. And we didn't want to have, I guess, the chain faces dynamic where you're once in, once out and done. We want people to have the option of, I can get in, I can try to get out, I can change how I want to play the game at any point.
And another thing to note too is if you make it to level 5, your chance to die on unstake is 0%. So you want to play the game to get to that level 5, so you have a bunch of choices to make at the end. It's more free will.
This seems perfect for my degenerate behavior. I love this.
We want to support all types.
There's also another balance feature that we have implemented that once the percent of one side starts to get heavily outweighed, the claim cooldown actually starts to decrease. We're starting at 50-50 with the 12-hour timer, but once it starts to get more heavily one-sided, the cooldown will drastically change, and then the amount of critical success claims that you get, like the NFTs you get, you'll start to increase a little bit more as the percentage of one side goes smaller and smaller.
Do you want to give them an example of if it's down to 10%, how crazy it gets?
Yeah, at 10%, you'll have literally no claim cooldown, and you'll be able to claim, on a critical success, you will be claiming 5 NFTs.
Yeah, so that's what I kind of alluded to earlier with some of the arbitrage opportunities where you might want to be a little bit of a Benedict Arnold for your your own side and try to make some profit off of the success that you've had, winning so much.
I got my eyes on you, Jacob.
Yeah, and the other thing too is the way the mechanics have been structured is to ensure that we're minimizing, at least from as much as we can, the whale mechanic in a sense. So if you've got 50 of these, which over time players might accrue lots and build a huge force, and that's amazing because it gives you a lot of choice. You also have a lot of NFTs that are at risk at any point in time. So we want that balance, that natural balance, to be across the collection to make people feel like they can pop in at any point, grab a couple off the floor, and join the war and be effective. So
I love that. You got anti-sneaky ninja pants mechanics. No, I love it. I think that when it comes to these sorts of NFT collections, at least in my personal opinion, these are the ones that get me really excited because you can do more with them right off the bat. Like there's a game right off the bat. You have choices to make, and you have to deliberate in real time, understand the game theory to be effective enough to, maximize your potential here, maximize whether it's going to be your returns and what have you. I think comes inherent risk, obviously, with not just dying, but also risk from a development standpoint. Because I think that if we take a look at Wolf Game and all the other games that followed, Wolf Game was one of the most revolutionary NFT collections, in my opinion, for a long time. And when they dropped and released and everyone was playing the game right away, they were one of the first NFT collections to be able to stake right away too after mint. The game only lasted for a week. It only lasted for a week because of the exploits that were found. And so as the game continues to play out its course, much like Ether Orcs and to the same capacity, how do you guys plan on innovating quick enough for the game to continue to be engaging and effective in the community? And what kind of precaution measures have you guys considered so that the same exploits don't happen and the game can actually continue to run ceaselessly?
Yeah, I'll take this one. The mechanics for exactly what you're talking about there. So how do we make sure that the game continues to be interesting as we progress towards the end state of 40,000 NFTs? It's all built in. That's the beauty, and that was what we wanted to do. We said we don't want to be trying to build after day one on promised utility. We want to just provide the entire war game with all the mechanics on day one so people can just enjoy it and play it. And the natural deflationary elements that escalate over time, the balancing between the teams, the ability to kind of grow and evolve, and the whole collection doing that each day, that's all there day one. So, we're expecting that this game is going to be as interesting day one as it is whenever this phase one war comes to a conclusion. And we love the fact that we don't know when that's going to be because it really comes down to how people play the game. So it's very exciting. On the exploit, so the way these projects have dealt with the exploits so far has been largely around queuing mechanisms. So staking and then doing a claim, creating the mint and then doing the claim. And the dev teams come up with a bit of an interesting mechanism for how to deal with that in a more elegant manner. What I'll say at a high level is it's got to do with the chaining of data. So that's going to help us achieve the same thing while minimizing gas. And it's going to prevent not just the not just the prediction part, the flash bonding part, but the front running part as well. So we're confident that, and we've got it in test at the moment, that all this is going to be well handled.
Yeah, I think good old Twitter is rugging Mitch a little bit, so he's having a hard time hearing all of the responses. So sorry for him. He's missing out on some great alpha. We'll have to check out the recording after. But while he's going through some of these technical difficulties, I've been pinning some of these tweets up here. You can see some of the art that Hunger Brainz has got going on. We'd love to hear feedback from some people in the audience and get to the Q&As in a little bit. But we do have an announcement that we want to kind of exclusively launch first here. And we'll get a tweet about it so we can pin up there and you guys can check it out. But it's part of the reason we have Board Elon up here. Grape, are we ready to announce that?
Yeah, I actually just posted it. It should be coming up any second on the Twitter.
Oh, Alpha Leak?
Only the best for you guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mick.
Out. Board, what do you think? What brought you in?
Oh man, well I'll let you guys kind of share the details, but for a little background for everybody in the room, outside of the parody account, I spent over a decade in the video games business. I'm investing and advising a lot of blockchain games, huge advocate of it. And as soon as Jacob reached out and gave me the overview of Hunger Brainz, I was really interested in it. It especially tapped into my tabletop gaming nerd side. I've published a couple games myself, so it triggered memories of Dungeons and Dragons, like legacy type games where you have real stakes to lose. And as Mick was alluding to, it's not just a passive experience. You have to play. I think that what you see today is a lot of like DeFi that's kind of gamified, not games that are core, that are games at its heart and also have financial elements to it. So Hunger Brainz just feels like a really cool balance of that. So Jacob came to me and just wanted to share the game, which as a customer, I'm super interested in it as well. But he also suggested a collaboration. But I don't want to spoil that news, so over to you to share that.
Yeah. Go ahead, Grape.
I was going to say if Mick wanted to help describe or explain what it is, it's I don't. Did you pin it? Can you guys see it? Oh, I see it on top now. Yeah.
Sure, mate. So we wanted a way to kind of build some characters into the lore of Hunger Brainz that we can really have there for the community to kind of see and prophesize around what their backstories are, how they fit in, because these are going to be essentially the hero characters that we carry forward with the brand, with the product, as the game moves from phase one into whatever we develop. So these are our Hunger Brainz Hero Collection. They are a separate collection from the core game, but they are specific one-of-ones that we've made for really notable, influential individuals that are part of our community. They're playing, they're advising, they're helping, they're just really great points of sort of learning and community rally points that we want to create an asset around. So the one that you see here is Board Elon's, and we really appreciate his investment in the project.
Yeah, and I just want to add that, spending time in the Discord, you guys have done a nice job of revealing some of the villains, the zombies, that are very scary and very ominous. And I'm glad to come in and help defend the good guys and just tell everybody it's going to be okay. We're gonna take out the zombies. It's fine.
We're gonna make it.
We need people like you out there because the Horde team's definitely a bit memeier and kind of a little more degen. So we need some people on the Survivor side to kind of balance it out. And I think you got a really cool team that we'll be announcing in the next coming days.
Nothing like a flamethrower to take care of some pesky zombies.
There you go. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to Mick. He has been grinding his ass off, not only, helping Grape found the project, being in the Discord, doing all this, but he's been the one actually doing the art for all these hero collection. So I think that's super cool. This is his pixel art debut, And yeah, we've been blown away with what he's been able to create, and so happy that the heroes we've reached out to have been very receptive as well. And yeah, we're super excited to start that lore behind the project, and hopefully lead into a even more exciting phase 2 that we can't really give too many details on at this point.
Appreciate you, Jacob.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jacob. Appreciate it too for helping with everything.
Can confirm, Mick is an absolute G baller, and so is the rest of the cast and crew at Hunger Brainz. I am curious, Board, Elon Musk, is there a game or like NFT project in particular that spoke out to you that that you're excited about, that sort of gave you they gave you the inside glimpse into Hunger Brainz to say, oh, this is a project that I'm really interested in, or at least intrigues me?
I mean, it's mostly just in the process of being an angel for a lot of gaming projects and reviewing lots of pitch decks, and also just my time spent in the traditional video games world, being pretty quick to sniff out who is a game designer at heart, and this team is. They're good storytellers. They are clearly awesome with visuals, and it just resonated with me, and I've always loved kind of the zombie lore, and I think that it's a very I don't want to use the word saturated, but like the zombie sort of character is frequently used in gaming and movies and pop culture in general, and so to put a new spin on it, the way this team did, that really just kind of attracted me to the project, and so I'm definitely excited about it. And the one thing I keep thinking about is the same way sort of like these rival PFP projects love to kind of talk shit and FUD each other. Look at like Apes versus Punks as a really good example. You've got these two really big teams, and right now the way they're playing this game is that it's mostly through just like posting stuff on the internet, kind of casually or in sometimes mean spirited ways, talking crap to each other, and really just kind of trying to promote their team. And so what the Hunger Brainz folks have done in a way is you've created these two factions who are going to coordinate and work together and root for their team the same way you would for a sports team, but it's all within the same ecosystem and the same collection. So it's not these two completely separate tribes, right, that emerged out of nowhere. It's like actually a very coordinated one-on-one group, like a digital financial, like capture the flag of sorts. And so I think that's super interesting, and I think it'll also be really interesting to see how the team kind of manages balancing, and if one team gets too OP, like how do you like regulate the game so it feels more fair? I know Mick talked a little bit about that earlier. So like as a player, like as an upcoming player, like I'm definitely interested to see how this all rolls out, and also just what the teams collectively decide on how they want to coordinate with each other to basically help their fellow players win. So it's going to be a really interesting experiment. And again, just like as somebody who kind of sees a lot of upcoming blockchain games, I think they're onto something really unique here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a massive endorsement. I think to your point, this is a really interesting situation where you are able to go head to head within the same NFT collection, and there is no cooler side. I mean, the hordes are, but there is no particular advantage to one side, at least in the beginning, which is really intriguing to me. So it's the way that the game's, at least on the white paper from first read, it just seems like it will be like, I'm thinking that Squid Game's episode with the pulling of the rope, where it really is to that extent going to be that sort of like fight to the death, and that excites me. But also, Gen, and what do I know? I have 40 chain faces in the arena right now, and they are battling for survival. I'm curious, guys, what NFT projects? Maybe we could talk about ones that are more recent, but it just seems like Hunger Brainz, is inspired by a collection of many. Can you speak on when you first had the idea, and what are some of the projects that inspired Hunger Brainz? And how would you like to build upon them and do it differently?
Yeah, I think Mick might be getting rugged a little bit. So I think we might have just got him back. But oh, there he's gone again. But
Oh, no, yeah, can you hear me?
oh,
yeah,
there
we
you
can
go.
hear you.
Perfect.
Yeah, the games that we were inspired by initially when we whiteboarded what we wanted to create, we've been in the guts of the NFT scene for some time, in there with our MVHQ family, bleeding and celebrating over the various ups and downs for months now. So, we were there when Anonymous minted. We got to see the birth of real on-chain, and that on-chain gamification. So all the way back from there through the derivative versions of Anonymous through EtherOrcs, who are advising us and doing a really, really great job of helping guide us through this process. And from their Wolf game, the derivatives of all those collections that we've seen, they've all come together, and we've kind of put them up and said, these are the strengths of all of these projects. But where's the niche? Where's the what hasn't been done? Where can we create? Where can we put our brand and create something new and fresh? So we've taken all of the above to answer your question, as inspiration, as sort of the guiding light on how we wanted to carve our own piece of this space out.
Yeah, and I think going back to your earlier question about having this dynamic flow between the two sides and different communities kind of battling within one community. That's really where I think we get a lot of value. And the most exciting part for me is that we, as the team, have really no idea what's going to happen. Like, that's what's exciting, scary, like terrifying, to go into a mint and just have no idea how it's going to play out. I think I was shocked personally that when we opened up the Discord, the survivor and horde numbers were like 50-50 dead on, like from the very start, all the way up until now. And that's something that, I would have never expected, but it's really shows that, you have a diverse group of people who are interested in this from one side or the other. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how it plays out.
I'll touch on that bit too, because Jacob, I agree totally. I've been part of a number of Discords where there has been a similar mechanic where you've got 2 teams, 4 teams, whatever, as a way to kind of set up the roles. And when any competitions are applied, you tend to see 1 or 2 skew heavily. We've never seen it. It's quite amazing. It's just stayed line ball. I think the most difference there was 100 points between Survivor and Horde, and that kind of corrected itself over time. So there's been this natural psychological alignment between the two. I really can't wait to see how Mint happens, because I think it's going to be a similar situation.
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing that it stayed the same the whole time. And one cool thing with this mint too is at the beginning there's 5,000 of each, but you get to pick if you're minting one of each or all of the same or what. So I can't wait to see on mint day how that rolls out in real time.
There's one more thing that I wanted to bring up around the mechanics too, and just while we're sort of, I'm not sure we've got full connectivity, but there's some unique utility we're bringing, and I think it's really cool as part of a PvP style game where we're really focusing on, that wanting players to play for that sense of achievement. So we were thinking, well, how can we really do more around the achievement element? So we're introducing achievements. So we're going to have POAPs that will be able to be claimable based on how characters or how players play the game and perform in the game. So this is one of those unique forms of utility that we want to provide. We hope people really like it. We really do. So because everything is on chain, we can look at the data. We can see how players have performed, and then reward them if they got a whole lot of sup accrued, if they managed to claim if they managed to convert a whole lot of the enemy, if they got a level 5 horde or a level 5 survivor. There's going to be these goals people are going to be able to stretch for, and we think that'll be really fun.
Yeah, I completely forgot about the POAPs, and that was one of the things I was most excited about, and just being able to see who you killed, how many people you killed, who you stole from, and really kind of, I've always been in close friend groups when I'm gaming, where you like to trash talk each other and it's all good fun. But that's half the reason you want to play the game. Like, I'm not playing these games just because I want to kill some random guy on the internet. I want to kill Board Elon, or I want to kill Shamdu, or I want to kill Tropo Farmer, or Mick, or Grape, and then be able to tell them about it and have these cool engagements and stories that go beyond just the game. And yeah, it looks like we might have lost Mitch again. It's unfortunate, but we will be opening up the floor to questions soon. There, we got Mitch back, hopefully. Not sure if anyone else has anything they'd like to mention before we kind of move in that direction. Also, we got a tweet from Board Elon I'm going to pin up here, kind of calling out the zombies and the Horde fans. So we might have some angry Horde coming up here in a minute. But this is just the kind of, friendly competition that we're talking about, and what you love to see from one of the generals leading the survivors into this army for the fate of humanity.
Zombie's not going to make it. Just saying.
I will back you on that statement.
Brawlers, you're a Horde. What are you even talking about, bro?
No. We went over this last night. You are the Horde.
Well, now I'm kind of, I don't know. I might have to switch sides.
He's playing favorites already.
I think I'll have a healthy skew down the middle. I don't know.
I might be switching to Elon's side.
I'm straight survivor, man. There are some really, really cool NFT cosmetics. So the items that you can find on the hunt. We've done a lot of sneak peeks all the way from level 1 to level 5. Check them out in the Discord or Twitter. There's a whole heap of them. And I keep going back and forth over, do I like Survivor or Horde more? But there are some specific items that cricket bat in the Survivor side really speaks to me. If I don't get, and I've called this out in the Discord, if I don't get a Survivor that has the Murph Hughes handlebar mustache with a cricket bat, I'm going to be pretty sad. So I'm hunting for that. And if anyone gets the reference, I appreciate you too.
Man, that's the part too. Yeah, I'm going to be so bummed out if I get my favorite trait finally and then it gets killed, stolen.
But then if it doesn't and you get it to level 5, you create a name for your character, you write some lore, you've got probably the NFT you're going to be more attached to than anything else.
That's the part I can't wait for. Yeah, that grind to get to 5.
Awesome. Yeah, it seems like we're going to have to use the community fund from MVHQ to get Mitch a new phone or some better internet or something. He is struggling here. But yeah, I know I see Peerless up here. He's been requesting for a while. I know he's got a lot to say about the gaming space. So what do you guys say? You want to bring him up, see what questions he's got?
Yeah.
Definitely bring him up. We've got a lot of respect for Peerless and his analytical slant on gaming. So love to hear the questions.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, awesome. As far as gaming is concerned, I've made it my life mission to be an NFT game expert. Kind of putting my hands and toes and feet and everything I can grasp my hands on. So, analyzing your project, I've mentioned it before. I think it's innovative and great. I love the art. I love the concept and everything like that. One thing, I kind of been going in and out of this conversation you guys have had, but one thing I've kind of interested in maybe seeing if you guys can shed some light on is the ultimate vision of the project. So, like, for example, you have Either Orcs, where the initial concept of Either Orcs is you're kind of building up, you know, the races and so forth. You're minting, you're kind of raiding, you're building up your army or whatever it may be. And then, you know, you have raiding content, dungeons and so forth. And it kind of, you know, you get immersed into this like world. And then you have like the chain faces where it's like battle royale kind of style. And there's, you know, for the people who are, you know, last standing, you know, there's a nice reward. So I'm curious as to what the vision of this project is and what happens in the end game. Is there going to be a next stage to this? What does that look like? What happens if you know, one side gets completely annihilated? Does the game just end? You know what I'm saying? Because I like the beginning mid game of this. I think it's very interesting, but I'm really curious as to what the game's going to lead towards.
That's a great question. I knew we were going to get a good one from you. So, look, the mechanics around deflation and balance are going to play a big role here. So, just to talk to your point around if one side gets out of control, I don't. Just based on the mechanics, I don't think that's going to happen. The more one side progresses, the more effective the other side becomes. It's kind of that concept of like the Spartans. You get down to the last 10-20%, whatever it is, of an army, and you've got the scarred veterans that wall themselves up and just start taking names left, right, and center. We wanted that in there, so we have that ability for the other team to push back. And because players can also pick and choose which side they mint from, they're able to see that opportunity as well. And you know, they might have been a Horde maxi or a Survivor maxi, and they go, "Oh, this is looking too spicy now." On the other side, I need to take advantage of this situation. So we're going to see that ebb and flow. And I don't think it's going to actually get to a crazy scenario because I think people are going to see those opportunities well in advance. But I'm super interested to see how that goes. So I think, you know, with people getting attached to their level 5s and probably wanting to save them during certain parts of the war game, as well as the balance mechanics, you're going to see the collection. It will ebb and flow, but it's going to grow. It's going to tick along, and the collection size is going to ultimately, at some point, we're predicting reach that 40k limit. At which point, you know, the phase 1 war game, the battle in the Plague Lands in front of Sanctum, where the Horde and the zombies are trying to fight over supplies because they're trying to bolster their forces and, you know, win this initial skirmish, is happening. That's going to come to a conclusion, and the lore that goes along with that. Well, I'm not going to leak too much. We've got plans for how to create some of that lore. All I want to say is, you know, we respect the way the community plays, and the collection will reflect that. And we want to build off whatever the collection represents at the end of this phase 1. Moving into the future with what does this build towards? Well, you know, we're going to have a collection of characters. We're going to have a collection of personas. We're going to have lore built around all of the players in this game, and we're going to have communities invested in it. So we want to be the war game. We want to be the tabletop war game of on-chain and have communities battling at large scale. So keep that in mind and think about where this series of characters that we are allowing the community create themselves could go. Hunger Brainz as a brand is really important to us. So, you know, we want everyone to be part of it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that kind of answers my question. Obviously, there's a lot of information you guys want to kind of keep to yourselves as far as spoilers and whatnot's concerned, and it's always nice to have like a little bit of unknown to keep things spicy. But yeah, it's exciting. Thank you.
All I can tell you, Peerless, is you want to keep a little army and some sup put aside for the next phase.
Yeah, just to add on to that, I think we're always going to look to reward, the most active players and the players with that. That's kind of why we're doing the POAPs as well. We don't have, specific utility for each one at this point, but we definitely want to look to find ways to reward those who have, gone above and beyond for their side, whichever one they're a part of, and find ways to incorporate that moving forward. But yeah, thank you so much for the question, Peerless. I'm not sure if you have anything else, but we'd love to open up the floor to anyone else to request to speak as well. Do you have anything?
Oh, I could go on for a long time, but yeah, I'll let other people speak. I always have things to say, but for the most part, that's what I wanted to get out of you guys.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I'd like to ask you before you go down. Which side are you on? You Team Horde or Team Survivor?
World of Warcraft, I've always been Horde, but I've always missed out on the other side. So maybe this time around, I'll be Team Survivor.
All right. Sounds like Boy got another member to his army. So nice job there. Get in some recruits in the spaces. Oh, it looks like Mitch. Are you back up? Is it working?
I am. I came back up just in time to hear Peerless say he was going to be Survivor, and I'll be seeing you in the pit.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
All right. Sorry. I don't know if this was covered. This is Seth, by the way. I was gonna ask like how intensive transactions and gas were gonna be, and how frequent those sorts of things are.
Yeah. So there's going to be the transaction is going to be one for the staking and the hunt, and in the phase one of this, at first, it's going to be on Ethereum 1, and you're going to have to claim essentially every time you want to hunt. But then for the phase 2, we're going to do kind of like EtherWorks did and have the assets go over to layer 2 once we have more of the collection established and a following and the sales and everything on layer 1 done with.
And we've had a lot of thought about that as well. We kind of did analysis of the market and did some consultation, and what we found was ETH is still absolutely far and above king. And we want the collection, these initial characters, the assets, to reside on the king, which is ETH, and then from there build out. We're huge fans of Layer 2. We understand the practicality of it, and we really look forward to taking advantage of that with the roadmap. But we also want to make sure we respect the community and where the value is. So, ETH is where we're starting.
Yeah, we also know a lot can change. And I was actually just playing a game on Matic that's been kind of taking the chain to its knees with a really pretty simple game. So I think we want to definitely explore all the options for layer 2. And, there's a lot of this space moves super fast. So, there could be a new innovation that might be worthwhile using that for our next phase instead of Matic, although that's kind of the one we're eyeing right now. But yeah, that's a great question, Seth. Thank you very much. I think he might have. Are you still up here? All right, Seth. Well, appreciate the question. If you're down there, give us 100 if you're going Horde. Give us a peace sign if you're going Survivor, and we'll call that out. We also got another request. Let me add you up here. Guillermo Lombello. I probably butchered your name. I'm so sorry. Hey, can you hear us? You hear me? We got you up here. He might be having some technical difficulties as well. If anyone else has any other questions, feel free to request. We'd love to hear which side you're going to be on, any game plan you got going into it, or any other questions you might have. All right, we got another request from Aslik here. Still waiting on you to change your name so it's a little easier to pronounce. But excited to have you up here, buddy. How you doing?
I'm gonna have to second that one, Jacob.
Am I on right now?
Yeah.
Bam. There we
What's
go.
up?
Okay. Sorry. Cut out right
up?
when you said that, Jacob. I just have one question, which is it possible in advance to figure out what side Peerless is going to be on so I can go on the opposite side and bust him? That's all I want to know.
He said he was going to be a survivor.
There we go.
You
So I'm
gotta
going
come
to the
to
other
Team Horde.
side, and I'm coming for Peerless. That's it.
Lamar. This is
it.
the energy we want, man. This is it. Like when we started, we kind of went, we want the spice. We want the memes in chat. We want the spice. We want the banter. We want that all the way up to our big brains. So all the way up to the hero collection and everything that exists on socials. We want people kind of throwing shade at each other and having a good time. And there's going to be salt, and we want that to all be in as much good humor as we can. But this is it. We want people picking sides and going at it.
Yeah, it's awesome, guys. I don't have anything of actual value to add other than that, but great work.
That was
Thanks,
excellent. Man. Thank you for your support and for the Horde. I think we had another person come up here. They might have gotten rugged. I believe it was Bored Robot or something.
Hey, what's up,
there
guys?
you go.
Hey, just to balance that out, fuck the Horde, Team Survivor, let's go. And
Let's go.
I'm coming for you, Ace here. But for real, I do want to ask, like, how hard is it going to be? You kind of mentioned it's going to be a grind to get to level 5. Is it realistic if we are grinding every day to eventually attain that goal?
Oh yeah. So if you look in the white paper, it's a 12-hour hunt, and you have an 80% chance to level up per hunt. So theoretically, you could do it in a couple days if you stayed up and just every 12 hours just did it, and you had luck on your side. So it won't be too crazy if you're playing and luck's on your side.
Love to hear that. Thank you.
And by the way, it's 40%. You have 80. It's 40% to level up per success, not 80.
But a very high chance of succeeding. So definitely achievable, and we look forward to seeing the effect of more level 5s as they enter the battlefield. I think it's going to change everything.
Awesome. Thank you. I got to read that white paper.
Yeah, and then come into the Discord and ask us questions. Either ask the team suggestions, get in general, talk game theory. We've had people set up private Discords as sort of pseudo guilds to start planning on how they're going to attack the game together. So love to have you in there, and yeah, we'll talk shop.
Sounds good.
Oh yeah.
Sweet. Thank you for the question. And looks like we got Emmy up here now as well. Emmy, how you doing?
All good, man. How are you doing?
Doing great. I love your Mr. Bean PFP.
Yeah, it's fun, right?
Yeah, no. Is Mr. Bean going to be joining the Horde or Survivors?
Yes, of course. He's the best player in the world. Sorry, guys, because this thing pop up on my Twitter feed, and I don't really know what this chat is all about. But if you could introduce me to it, I'd be very thankful.
Cool. Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea to maybe reset the spaces a little bit, give everyone a quick refresher on what Hunger Brainz is, what MBHQ is. And so, yeah, Hunger Brainz is going to be the first fully on-chain PvP war game where you have a risk to either steal NFTs or actually lose your NFTs from them dying in the battle. There's going to be levels for each NFT that will give you an advantage in the game, better chances to steal or kill other NFTs. And it is a 50-50 split right down the middle between Horde and Survivors at the beginning. But that's going to be a dynamic supply as the Phase 1 unleashes. And we're not going to really know how this is going to turn out until the very end, but we want people to be as engaged as possible and build out their factions to defeat the other.
Sounds good. Sounds very interesting. So basically, there are NFT characters, and you battle against others, and if you win, you get NFTs or you get points, right? No?
Yeah, your NFT gets stronger, it levels up, you unlock more cosmetics for it, you earn tokens to be able to mint more NFTs. But the whole time that you're participating in the war and benefiting in that way, you are in a war. So you're at risk that the enemy is going to find you and attack you and convert you and take your NFT. But you can also do that to them. So it's I love the concept of the financial capture the flag that what Elon mentioned earlier. I was having a laugh in the background. It's a great analogy.
Wow, so interesting. And how did you guys come up with this idea?
Yeah, just to iterate on that, we have been NFT traders and degens for a long time. All of us in the team are part of MVHQ and have been for a number of months. So we wanted to create something. We wanted to add to the amazing scene that is on-chain gaming. So we got together and whiteboarded what we wanted to create, what we thought the space would enjoy. And a few things that haven't been done yet. So over time, Hunger Brainz was born from that.
Okay, congratulations, guys. I'm gonna follow you and I'm gonna be updated because it sounds really good, the game.
Yeah, if you want to stay most up to date, make sure to. We got some pinned tweets up there. Most recently, some of the heroes that are going to be a part of the story and sort of generals in this war. And you can follow the Hunger Brainz Twitter at Hunger Brainz with a Z, or join the Discord to be updated. Also, make sure to give a follow to Metaverse Headquarters, Metaverse_HQ. That is the group we are all a part of, and kind of where this project was born. It's a NFT Alpha group with about 1,300 members, where we're on a 24/7 voice chat talking about any and every NFT project that happens, trying to make as much money as possible, and it's become really a family in there. And that's kind of why we wanted to work together and build this awesome project to kind of give back to the community and innovate in the space, because we're all super invested and want to move it forward.
Okay, I've just followed the Metaverse account and the game one, so I wish you a lot of luck, guys, with it, and I'm gonna be updated. Okay.
Thank you so much, man. Hope you have
Welcome
a good
to
one.
the Brain Game.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I think we're coming up on the hour mark here. We've had some great questions, went into detail in the white paper as much as possible. We can probably get one or two more questions in here if anyone has anything they would like to bring up. Speak now or forever hold your peace in the war. And let's see if we get a couple of requests here, or if anyone from the team has anything they'd like to add.
Don't forget to put in your wallets in the wallet submissions, because we're going to be closing that here in a couple of days. Don't want to miss out on it.
Yes, that's a very good point. We have a whitelist channel in the Discord. If you are a part of MVHQ and something went wrong when you were trying to submit your whitelist, make sure to DM me on Discord or Brawlers. He loves it when you DM him, so maybe DM him first. And
I'll take it. I'll take the work. Just DM me. I'll get you guys all situated and up to date.
No, I'm kidding. Brawlers has been an absolute legend whitelisting all of you guys and really being a Discord god. So we really appreciate him. But yeah, it's whitelist address channel. It's a post from Brawlers. It's a Dino link. All you have to do is fill out your address there. You'll only be able to fill it out once, so you really can't mess anything up. And once you've done that, you will be good to go for mint date, which will be on Monday the 10th. And we will set a time closer to the mint date that should hopefully accommodate all time zones. And then there will be a whitelist window. And after that, there will be a public sale for the remaining supply. Yeah, so I'm not seeing any requests here. I'll give you a couple more seconds if you'd like. Otherwise, really appreciate everyone for coming out. I think we had some great discussions and hopefully learned a lot. Oh, here we go. Get up here. We got Meta 5 coming up. The very nice cool cat.
Hey man, thanks. I appreciate it. Just a quick question, because I didn't see it on the site, and I just sort of jumped in this room. What blockchain is this on?
Ethereum.
Okay, interesting.
And we're starting on L1.
Interesting. Do you guys have L2 thoughts and aspirations?
Yeah, so EtherOrcs are actually advising us with all of this, and they were the ones who created the layer 1 bridging to layer 2, that most recent trend that came out, that Wolf game and everyone's switching to. So they'll be helping us later on do that solution.
Okay, interesting. Cool. That was my question. Awesome. Really looks cool.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks.
Great.
Would love to hear. Are you more towards the Horde or Survivor? With the cool cat, I'm gonna guess Survivor, but I'd love to hear.
I'm gonna have to dig into it. I missed some of this stuff, and I'm just not gonna, talk out of the side of my mouth or whatever. Otherwise, I think I'm not gonna make it, right?
In Board Elon's terms, that is what he would say, correct? But yeah, definitely excited for you to dig in. You can see the white paper if you really want to get into the nitty gritty on hungerbrainz.com. And otherwise, the best place to get information would be on the Twitter, which is pinned above, as well as the Discord. And yeah, if you want even more alpha for the inside scoop, then I would recommend joining Metaverse HQ and the token gated NFT alpha community there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Actually, I've been meaning to get involved with Metaverse, and I think I will finally join this year. You guys are great, and I learned so much, and you bring so much to the community. That's always really appreciated. I just am so excited about all the stuff in this space. I'm making stuff myself, and it's awesome to see things that you like and that are inspiring, and kind of you can see things are really getting pushed forward. This year is going to be really, really interesting.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we really appreciate those kind words and would happily welcome you into our alpha NFT family. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really exciting year for NFTs with gaming specifically. So yeah, buckle up.
Rock and roll.
Awesome. Mitch, are you finally back? Do you want to give some closing remarks and end us out with a bang?
I've officially been unrugged. I want to tell everyone right now, appreciate the candor and the conversation. It let me listen, actually, when I stepped off as a speaker. So maybe it just was not meant to be. Maybe the cards were not in play. But I'm so fucking excited for this game. Can't wait to play it. And Team Horde all the way, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
There we go. Throw some hundreds if you're Team Horde.
All I'm asking, here's all I'm asking. I can't wait for the Mick and Vigil show when they tear apart their own site and white paper and everything in between, Mick. I want no favoritism. You got to, no punches held. You got to get after it for all you got.
Yeah, we've actually joked about that in passing a number of times in the lead up, how we're going to tactfully approach it. But I hear you. I'm there with you. It'll be quite amusing.
All right. Everyone tuning in, thank you so much for doing so. Again, shout out to the Hunger Brainz, Meg, don't laugh. Shout out to the Hunger Brainz team for bringing this to Metaverse HQ and being incredible members for our community, guys. I can't say this enough. I feel like this is a really awesome platform and time to remind you guys how much you've brought to the community before Hunger Brainz and now bringing this into the space. I mean, you really love to see it. I love makes my job easier when I could say, we're just a bunch of innovators in Metaverse HQ as well. We're not just DGens flipping JPEGs, though. We do specialize in. Very excited looking forward to Hunger Brainz and the release. Good luck. And for everyone else tuned in, may your mints be merry and bountiful. Have an amazing day.
If I can just jump in right at the end and throw that thanks in equal measure back to you. We are very thankful for MVHQ just in general. It's given us the lessons, it's given us the community, it's helped us sort of understand the space and know the angles to play. And we would not be here. We wouldn't have met each other. We wouldn't have had the inspiration, and we wouldn't been able to bring this to fruition if it wasn't for having such a great community. So we appreciate you guys a lot.
Yeah, well said.
Much love, bro. Thank you for saying that. We really appreciate it. Really appreciate you guys and everyone tuned in. Appreciate your time. If you haven't already, check us out. All of our links are in the Metaverse HQ bio. And tune in next time. We've got Nate Alex this Sunday to tell us why the fuck I've staked 40 of my chain faces in the arena. And 9 have perished, 9 of my poor souls. So stay tuned for that. And
Meg laughing in the background was my favorite part. Okay, bye.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Meg.
Hi, Meg.
Meg's officially on Twitter Spaces. We did it, Jacob.
We did it about time. Also, I'll just add right now.
All right, fam. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the Metaverse.